What's going on, everyone? My name's Eric, and today on the channel we have this guitar here. This is my Jim Root V4 Jazzmaster from Fender, and this is kind of a marriage of vintage and modern, which pretty well checks off most boxes for me when I'm looking for a guitar, for the most part anyways. We got active pickups, we got an offset Jazzmaster body with the obviously not so traditional layout. Here we got a hardtail bridge, things like that, ebony fingerboard and the big block inlays. It's a really nice marriage, as I said, of old school and modern. But as you can tell from the title of this video, there are some glaring issues with this guitar that I really want to address with all of you. But before we do all that, without further ado, let's hear this guitar in a full demo mix. That was the Jim Root V4 Jazzmaster in a full demo mix, and the signal chain was pretty simple. We had the guitar going straight into an overdrive and a noise gate. It went straight into my Mesa Boogie dual rectifier Road King, and for a cabinet, it went through a cabinet capture of the Omega Granifier cabinet section from Neuro DSP. Now let's get into the specs of the Jim Root V4 Jazzmaster. This guitar pretty well has the exact same specs as most of his other signature guitars through Fender and sort of with Charvel in some ways, but there are some differences that we're going to highlight in this video. So first and foremost, a lot of the similarities, we're going to have a mahogany body all the way through. We also have a maple neck, we also have the skunk stripe on it. The neck is kind of like a C-shaped profile. It's a very comfy neck. I know a lot of people who have tried this guitar say it's a little bit on the thicker side. I don't mind the neck thickness. It doesn't feel absurdly crazy. It's not like a 50s Les Paul or anything like that. It has a little bit of chunk to it, but it's nothing that you can't live with. And honestly, having different neck profiles and different neck shapes is kind of nice to have in your collection anyway. Ebony fingerboard, 22 nickel frets with these nice big block inlays. This guitar also has the lumen lace side dots, which is super great from when you're playing on stage or any sort of dark atmosphere when you can't really see the frets. I know some of his other guitars don't really have block inlays, so having the lumen lace side dots that glow in the dark is actually really nice when you're trying to navigate a dark stage. We also have a very simple control layout here, single volume and a 3-way blade style pickup selector, which are connected to Jim's signature EMG humbuckers here in the bridge and the neck, which are honestly some of my favorite sounding EMGs. I was really never an EMG guy growing up, and these pickups have kind of given me a new perspective on them, and I really would love to get these in another guitar because they're just that fantastic, as you're going to hear in just a minute. And speaking of the pickups, yes, they are active pickups. We don't have a battery compartment on the back of the guitar. The battery is located in the back here in the electronics cavity. I'm going to try and see if I can get it on camera as best as I can, but it is pretty tight in there. And I think moving forward, maybe to have a battery pack on the back here or an actual like USB charger in the control plate would be something pretty sweet going forward. Standard hardtail bridge. It seems like Jim isn't really picky. Like, this doesn't have a hip shot. Even his other more expensive signatures, the Made in America ones, those all have the same bridge as well, and I think it just goes without saying, if it works, it works, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We also have Fender locking tuners. We then have Jim's signature on the back of the headstock there, which is kind of nice because it's not like this guitar just says Slipknot. You can just take this and play it as a regular, you know, guitar in any sort of band, and the only way you're going to know it's a Jim Root signature is that if you actually know what kind of guitar this is already, or if you actually look at the back and see Jim's signature on the back there, which is nice, and it doesn't really pigeonhole this guitar as just being a Slipknot machine. And obviously up here, you got the classic Fender headstock. I kind of wish this had the bigger 70s style headstock because that's just one of my favorite headstocks of all time. It's just super sick from an aesthetic point. And another thing that was pretty cool, we got Fender strap locks from the factory on this guitar, and that is another nice thing as well. We also have the access heel at the back here to get up to the higher frets when you're soloing and things like that on the 22 frets. And the final thing about this guitar, it is made in Mexico. And in true Slipknot and Jim Root fashion, I had this guitar tuned to drop B thanks to today's sponsor of this video, our good friends at the String Source. As you guys know, if you're familiar with this channel, I use String Source strings on pretty well all of my guitars, whether they're featured in this video or whether they're in my personal collection. And the Jim Root V4 Jazzmaster is strung up with the Ruby 6-string set from the String Source. Now this is the standard set. This is a 12 to 56 set, and it gives a medium tension in C sharp standard or drop B as well. And as you guys might know, String Source is kind of my go-to set of strings for pretty well all the guitars that I use on the channel, and it goes without saying that they've provided the strings for this video and a lot of other videos that I've done on the channel as well when I'm doing guitar reviews and general setups and things like that. And if you want to learn more about the String Source and why balanced tension string sets are kind of the preferred choice for many players these days, including myself, you can go and click the link below, and you can also use my discount code MRTNTSS for 10% off your next string order through the String Source. Take it from me, they sound great, they last a long time, and the company is ran by very amazing people, and I stand behind what I have on this channel here, so take it from me, try out these strings, and you'll notice an improvement in your overall tone, the feel of your guitar, and your overall playing. So now at this point in the video, let's hear how this guitar sounds in some isolated mixes on its own. We're gonna go through some clean, some heavy, some lead tones, and maybe a little bit of mid gain in there just to really highlight how versatile this guitar is. Here we go. video of why you probably clicked on this video to begin with. This guitar is a fantastic guitar on paper. You know, it's spec'd out super well, has killer pickups, great bridge and everything like that, but nothing's perfect, and especially this guitar. And this is the issue that I have with this guitar. And these are a lot of the gripes that a lot of these Jim Root signature guitar owners have shared with me, and I've just been reading online as well. I'm going to start with the big one here, is at the fret edges. These are the worst fret edges that I've ever played on a brand new guitar, like, period. So I honestly brought this in because I didn't want to mess up the fingerboard and, you know, mess up the frets maybe any more than they already were from factory, and they took care of it. And even they were saying, like, because they are also a guitar builder, they were even saying that these are the worst frets that they've ever seen, and they actually don't know how this guitar kind of passed quality control. I'm at that stage as well. Like, I don't know how this guitar passed quality control from Fender and from the actual dealer that sold this guitar. So I don't know why they didn't address that from the actual guitar store before they sent this out the door. This guitar was not listed as a B stock or anything like that, which I think is absolutely insane because the frets were brutal. And from the amount of people that I've talked to as well, from professional musicians who are actually on the road, like who own these guitars in their personal collection, they've said, yeah, this guitar and other of my Jim Root signature guitars have been in the shop getting the fret edges fixed, or maybe tall frets figured out as well, which is an issue because it's not just one in a million, it's been happening to a lot of people as well. Another thing with this guitar is that it had a couple tall frets as well. Again, this is a brand new guitar. I don't know why a brand new guitar at this price point should have these major issues. And the one final thing that I do want to mention about this guitar is that when I was changing strings, I noticed that the bridge was moving, and I'm going to show that on camera right now. You can actually see that the bridge was actually moving left to right. It's because the actual mounting screws were actually a little bit loose and they weren't screwed in all the way. And when I went to go screw them back in, it seems like they were just spinning and spinning and spinning. So to fix that, I actually took the bridge off of the guitar and threw some wood shims in there and just a tiny, tiny bit of wood glue just so it can all kind of grab and hold on and actually, you know, not move around when I'm playing the guitar. And it seems to have actually held pretty well, and the bridge is actually way more stable. But again, why am I doing this on a brand new guitar? I think that's personally ridiculous. Now, all of those negative issues aside, especially with the frets and the bridge, if you can go past those and if you find a killer guitar that has those issues dialed out, I think you're going to be a real happy camper, because this guitar is actually pretty awesome besides from those issues. It's super resonant, super chunky, super clear. The pickups are fantastic. It looks awesome, but I think there needs to be a little bit more QC and a little bit more attention to detail from the factory or before it even hits the music stores. So then if you're going to be buying this guitar and paying a premium price, especially for an artist signature, you're not going to walk into the issues that I walked in and shared with you in today's video. And something else that I do want to share is that I actually went to a music store and saw one of the new Charvel Jim Root Strats that were hanging on the wall, and actually wanted to go try it and play it. And as soon as I grabbed it, I noticed it had super sharp fret ends, and I immediately put it back on the rack because I just didn't even want to play it, because I was actually that kind of bummed out that the issues that were on this guitar on my American Jim Root Stratocaster were then also on the brand new Charvel Jim Root Stratocaster as well. Now, I don't know if Jim's ever going to see this, but if he does, you know, there's something going on with the guitars that are coming out. Maybe there needs to be a bit more QC that comes in from Fender or the music stores. So make sure you try a few of these guitars so then you can maybe find a guitar that doesn't have these issues, or maybe you can negotiate with the seller or with the music store that you maybe buy this from to then fix those issues before you actually take the guitar home. And that's going to do it for today's video on the Jim Root V4 Jazzmaster. Let me know in the comments below if you've learned something new or if you have any similar issues that I've described about this guitar on your own Jim Root guitar as well. I'd love to hear about it, and I'd love to see if maybe something can get done about these guitars, especially because they are at a premium price, you know, being an artist signature and things like that. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. I have lots more videos like this, especially with guitar setups, repairs, maintenance tips, also lots of Pantera stuff and lots of different covers and things like that. And if you've enjoyed this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. It lets me know that I'm doing a good job as well. And don't forget to click the link below to learn more about today's sponsor, the String Source Guitar Strings, and to get 10% off your next order through the String Source. Thanks for checking this video, and I'll see you next time.